Good morning, guys. I sound weird. Okay, sorry, I was reading a message on my phone. My heart feels so heavy. I feel so overwhelmed. I just feel like I want to be still. There's a lot happening. I'm trying to finalize the documents because I'm filing for my daughter back home in Jamaica. And I moved 6 hours away from the city, from New York City. So I'm still living in New York. New York is a huge place. I'm still living in New York. Hence, that's why in the past few vlogs, you guys will hear me say I'm not home. I've not been home for the past 2 weeks now. I still have a few more days here. So my husband is sorting out some stuff, and I'm doing some medical stuff, which is a notification that I was just reading just now about an MRI appointment that I have coming up tomorrow. All goes well. But there's just so much on my mind, and this is one of the reasons why I started YouTube, was therapy. I am receiving professional therapy. Shout out to my therapist who encouraged me to go ahead. If vlogging helps you, do that, because at least you'll be being your authentic self. And so this is just another clip that will be in one of my videos, and I just want to put it here. Like, I'm feeling so out of zoned. I've not even bothered with these wigs, guys. I've been wearing beanies. Is that what these are called? Since I've been here. It's a good thing it's a cold weather. But you guys, my heart just feels so overwhelmed, because one of the topics that has held me back in life for so many... Oh, don't cry. He's under my feet. He's under my feet. The devil doesn't like it, but he's under my feet. I don't know why that just came to mind. But when I don't want to cry, I try to sing something, and that just fell in my spirit. So that's why I'm because I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. Okay. So yeah, now we're on the topic. We've been on it for a few weeks now. About 2 weeks. Sexual molestation. And it is so weird. I'm Jamaican, and there is a lot of that happening in the Jamaican sphere. And it's one of the reasons why I didn't want to talk about it, because I don't want anybody to think I'm driving on any train, because I'm Jamaican and I know us. But I had no idea just how much this thing affected me. Even this morning, I was laying in bed talking about it to my husband, and I was saying to him that I don't have sexual stamina like everybody else. Like, when I tell you that God handpicked and sent... Oh, let me look at this camera. When I tell you guys that God handpicked and sent my husband, because any other man, I believe personally, would have divorced me. Because... And then I'm scared to tell my story. I might just post this recording by itself. I'm scared to tell my story because he's under my feet. He's under my feet. The devil doesn't like it, but he's under my feet. I have to do that. I'm taking the notes from being in therapy, and it works. Trust me, it works. My hand is tired. But yeah, I'm scared to tell my story because a few years ago, let me say this first. A few years ago, I was in church back home in Jamaica, and a prophet called me up, and she said to me that, you know, God is going to use you to heal women and young girls. That's the reason why you went through and experienced the things that you went through. My therapist, who's a Christian, who did not know that that was said to me years ago, said the same thing to me. She said, Denise, I believe that you're going to do great things when it comes to bringing healing to women and girls, because you understand so much, because you've lived it. And that's the reason why there's this Jamaican YouTuber, Tashelle Foster White, that I just love so much. I don't know her, but I think she was the only person I used to follow on my TikTok account back in 2020 when I was in Jamaica, because she used to come and do those skits. And the first reason why I followed her, you know, was the roof. I'm obsessed with those slabs in the roof that go across in the homes in the roof. So I would always be looking up in the video until I actually started paying attention to her skits and her repeating this stuff, and I was like, I like this woman. So I would always follow her. I'm sorry if I keep looking all over the place. We had to take off the tin, which is why this is there, and so now I feel like a fish in a glass bowl, and so everybody keeps walking and looking like they're saying, why is she talking to her phone? Yeah, so, and now I've found Tashelle Foster White again, because, as I say, there's a lot of essayed things happening in the Jamaican sphere, and I think that's why I was recommended that video, because majority of my views is from Americans, but I keep tagging Jamaica in my videos. So I keep getting recommended Jamaican creators, but people who view and subscribe to me are Americans and from North America, and I think the UK mostly. And so when I saw her, I was like, whoa, this is her. So she's on YouTube, so I started watching her, and she's talking a lot about this. And I even said it to my therapist, because I said to my therapist, this woman, and I think I'm going to tag her in this video, this woman came out here and literally just said it so freely off her chest that, listen, I was molested by a family member. And when she said it, I went like this. Because I'm talking fast. I'm sorry, I talk fast. Because I know how we are as Jamaicans. I want some lip gloss, so no wait there. Let me see if I have it in my pocket. Yeah. So I said to my my therapist, I know how we are as Jamaican. The amount of backlash about forget. She brave. And I started saying, I'm not that brave. And my therapist asked me why. I said, because even when I spoke up as a child, I was told I was lying. And even though everybody that played their part, down to my stepfather who confronted the family member at the time, even that stepfather today would still say I'm lying to protect and save face of the family. And it feels like it's doing therapy now. Doing therapy now makes me feel like it's eating away at my inside, and I can't say anything. Because if I dare say anything at all, and sometimes when I listen, that was a commercial break. Sometimes when I listen to the news recording of crimes and they block the roads in Jamaica and they say, him innocent, him not do it, I said to my husband, well, the Martians strike again. The Martians come down from somewhere and they go to Jamaica and they do all these killings, and it's just Martians. It's nobody from Jamaica. I say that in reference to every single female woman now who has gone through sexual molestation. Martians do it to us. We just make it up in our minds. We're just crazy like that. It's just false. It's just false. And as I pause just now to dry my tears, I'm reminded of something, and I think that was just God right now. The Holy Spirit reminded me that, you remember how you keep telling people that nobody really knows you? It is because truly nobody does. Because I've been told and gotten prophecy, you know, God has called you to do this, God has called you to be. But I keep crying and fasting and going to God and saying, then why isn't it manifesting in my life? Why am I not walking in that calling? Why am I not this great prophet? Why? Because there's a space in me, and my therapist told me this, there's a space in me that God needs, that I need to release, but I can't release it because I'm afraid. Because I'm afraid that it will be said that I'm lying, I'm making it up. What happened to me back then, you know? To this day, I'm 35 years old. My husband has to know how he's waking me up when I'm sleeping. If I'm touched a certain way, I still kick in my sleep. I still kick because of what I went through. I have to keep everything here. I cannot. And I'm the person that has a page on Facebook called named Healing Souls of Girls, you know. And I'm wrestling with my own healing. And this is why I know that God is merciful. That God is merciful. That God sees your brokenness. He sees your pain. And He will still use you. As I often like to say, you think God didn't see that David would set up Uriah? He did. But He still called, ordained, and predestinated him King of Israel. You think God didn't see that the prophet Elijah or Elisha would lock himself away in a cave and get depressed? But He still made him a great prophet. You think God didn't know that Jeremiah would tell himself, I'm not fit to be called a prophet of God? You believe God did not know that these people would go through those instances? But He still ordained them. And I have to keep reminding myself of that. And to say, God, it is every part of me that You want to use. Every part of me that I went through. But I'm afraid to release that part of me to You for You to use. I am afraid. And so I just want to tell everybody who is giving voice to people, including Tashel, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. As I said, I'm going to tag you in this video. Keep doing what you're doing. keep doing what you're doing. I'm a God-fearing, speaking in tongues believer, Holy Ghost filled, anointed from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. And I'm hearing tears because of what I went through. And the church have a way of telling you, if you just let it go, if you cry over it, that means that you're not forgive. If you still talk about it, that means that you're not forgive. But the book of Revelation tells us that we overcome by the words of our testimony and the blood of the Lamb. And this is a testimony that I'm yet to give. And hence, why I have not yet overcome. And so when we try to shut people up and shut people down, we don't understand that we are hindering the move of God. When the seed goes into the ground, it has to, the outer layer has to burst for the tree to produce, And that's why a lot of us cannot produce anything. Because we not burst yet. Our guts haven't been spilled yet and run. And so we are still walking in old wineskin and expecting God to pour new wine. And I'm saying this to let you guys know that I'm an anointed woman of God. I know what I'm talking about. But yet here I am still, because it's not that I'm afraid to talk about it because I'm lying. It's that I'm afraid to talk about it because I still want to protect those around me.